So this is kind of like the reflection video from day one. Um, Had to make sure there's no hospital signage in the background. So sorry about the angle, but day one was it was rough in that it was the same. Probably because I'm burned out, but just to summarize. I was 8 minutes late for the shift. 8 minutes. And within those 8 minutes, the manager called me 3 times to ask if I was coming to work. Mind you, I'm not normally late. I've never missed a day. I've never called in since I've been working there. But she called me within three times within 8 minutes to ask me if I'm coming to work. The charge nurse is on the phone with her as I'm talking to him, letting her know, okay, he's here. So that sets the tone for the whole day. And I'm like, okay, deep breath, I'm clocking in. And I get my assignment, which is fine, no problems, nothing that I'm not used to, I'm sorry. But then I have a guy who comes rushing in. Oh, I think my wife is bleeding to death. Like, okay, sir, well, what's going on? We go out there. She's complaining of stomach pain and stuff like that. Ask her what's wrong. Anyways, come to find out she just had diarrhea and she pooped on herself. And to me, I'm thinking to myself, like, why would you think she's bleeding to death? Like, where's the blood? There's no GI bleed, because that is a smell that any nurse worth their salt would know, first off. So it's like, well, why would you think she's bleeding to death, sir? You're like, oh, because this doesn't happen. It normally doesn't happen. And it's like, okay. So we try and help her out, and he's, oh, you guys need to hurry up. She's in so much pain. And it's like, well, sir, we gotta clean her up. We gotta get her up. We're going to get her squared away. And so that was the second thing, and, he's all upset because she's in so much pain. Mind you, this lady's been dealing with this stuff for 20 years now. So it's chronic. It's not even acute. It's not even immediately, it's something she always deals with. And I've personally taken care of her at least 4 times, in a cycle. But that was the second thing. And I'm like, wow, okay, so this is compounding on what just happened with management calling me 3 times within 8 minutes. And I'm like, okay, it happens. Nothing. It happens. Okay. So I go help her up, get her in, get her squared away, get her triage, go. And then another person comes up. Hey, do we need to go to another place because you guys are taking too long? And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, there's an ER. We do see people based on their acuity and their symptoms and the severity of their illness. I'm thinking this to myself. I'm not saying it to him. I'm just thinking to myself. So while I'm thinking this to myself, I'm like, yes, sir, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Is there anything I could do? Whatever. I'll let the doctor know, whatever. And he's, oh, you guys I've been waiting for hours. And I'm thinking to myself, well, there is not a drive-through. It's not a restaurant. So what were you expecting when you came through the door for a foot wound that you were supposed to see a primary care physician for, but you say you don't have one, so you're using us as the primary care physician because of EMTALA, we can't turn you away. Okay, fine. And in my head, I'm thinking it's not a fast food place. Why do you think the service would be quick? It's not your first time here. But smile on my face. I proceed to help him and, do some service recovery and calm him down. I let the doctor know, hey, this guy is X, Y, and Z, PQ, and S. And that's a third strike. And that's all within the first hour, So from that moment on in the shift, I'm done. I'm checked out mentally in that, okay, unless it's someone coming in CPR in progress already coding, nothing's really going to move me for the rest of the shift. And after that, it just kept compounding, and things were happening. I had management, they was kind of on the out end. That's why I work nights, to avoid them, so I can not get into these kind of confrontations. But she proceeds to tell me that one of my patients wants some water, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I talked to this patient, their NPO, small bowel obstruction. Okay, when I was putting in the NG tube, I let them know they wouldn't be able to eat or drink till they get to the hospital, till they get admitted. But she goes to tell me, well, no, I take that back. She's taking water to my patient. Mind you, the patient has an NG tube in, so one would think, okay, hey, stop. Let me ask the nurse if you can have something to drink, and then go from there, So I politely stop her. Oh, they can't have that. And she proceeds to tell me that I need to stay in my place because I'm just a nurse. Her words exactly. I'm just a nurse, and the patient satisfaction is what matters. That's what she said to me. And, so I was taken aback for a second or two, in that, not because of what she said. I understand the metrics, management cares about the metrics. That's fine, whatever. But first she said that I'm just a nurse, and I'm like, well, I'm the biggest cog in this machine that's helping this whole thing, move. But second, the fact that she prioritizes patient satisfaction over their own health. And then, of course, if something happens to that patient, the doctor's not going to be the one to get blamed. Management's not going to be the one to get blamed. The patient's not going to be the one to get blamed. The first thing they're going to do is call a nurse, which happened to be me at that time. And they're going to ask me, oh, this patient had a small bowel obstruction. This patient had an NG tube. They was NPO. Why did you let them drink? Why did you let them whatever? And of course, I can't say, well, management felt metrics was more important than nursing and decided to give them water, even though they got a fucking 16, sorry about the language, they got a 16 French NG tube down their nose. But what I have to say, oh, well, I have to come up with something to not only say I'm responsible or I should be held accountable, but absolve everybody else. And those 4 things happened within the first 3 hours of the shift. So by 10 o'clock, mentally, I'm checked out. Emotionally, I'm checked out. But I've been doing this for 13 years now, so it's autopilot. Get up, go, do what I got to do, keep it moving. And then at 11:30 hits. Boom. It's quiet. No alarms, no beeping, no patients, no family. It's quiet. And from 11:30 to 5:30 in the morning, got 2 patients that come through the whole ER, 2 patients. The doctor was able to get some sleep. I was able to catch up on charting, some homework, and everything like that. 2 patients. And when I got off work this morning, which you saw in the after shift reel, I was exhausted. All because within the first 3.5, 4 hours, they sucked everything out of me that I had. And of course, I'm not going to hurt any patients. I'm not going to not do my job because, as I said, it's muscle memory. I can do it in my sleep. Matter of fact, I'll probably be dreaming about pumps and alarms and things going like that. But what that let me know is they don't, no one. And when I say no one, I mean the physician, which sometimes they're burnt out too. I get it. Management, especially the patients. No one cares about my satisfaction as a nurse. And when I say me, I mean nurses as a whole. I'm only speaking to me right now because I'm making this video, but no one cares about my satisfaction as a nurse. They care about the metrics, the patient satisfaction, all these little scores. But what about the nurse who's taking care of the patients? So that further cemented the nail for me to make my exit, not from nursing as a whole, because I'm currently in school for my psych NP. Tele psych is the goal. That's the goal. But it's the final nail to help me extricate myself from bedside nursing, ER especially. So don't get me wrong. When I first started nursing, I enjoyed it. I loved it. And to an extent, I still love the knowledge that I have to obtain and require to perform nursing. But it's getting harder, and not in degree of difficulty, but with the lack of resources, and with the changes that they're making, it seems like they're intentionally making a job harder, so that, yeah, you know what? I don't even really know why they're making it harder. It's not that hard. When you become competent, it should be easier. But it's like they're going out of their way to make it more difficult, and have, as a matter of fact, I take that back. I had one more patient before the magic 11:30 hour, and it was a lady with 5 kids. And there's nothing wrong with 5 kids. Okay. What the issue is that she came in and wanted them all treated for lice. She had her boyfriend, husband, whoever come in, and she wanted to be treated for life, and herself wanted to be treated for lice. That's 5 people. So the doc let her know, hey, that's 5 co-pays, whatever, 5 thingies for all 5 of them, when I could just treat one and just treat everybody. And she wanted all 5 of them to get seen. And the first things out of her mouth was, oh, it's okay. I got Medicaid or Medicare, or whichever the one that you can get without being elderly. And she's like, oh, it's okay. I got Medicare or Medicaid. And then I was like, I don't think that's how that system works. So we provided the serum, gave him the next stuff, gave him the prescription. And she's like, oh, well, can you write a prescription? No, I take that back. The doctor says, oh, you can get that over the counter. And she's like, well, can you write a prescription for it? Because they'll pay for it if you write a prescription. So she wanted a prescription for that. She wanted a prescription for like everything. And I'm thinking like when she said those words out of her mouth, I was like, man, maybe I'm not the one that's broken, but the system is broken. When you have people like this young lady who drains it and sucks it dry, and then you got the powers that be are on my back because I didn't answer a call like within 3 minutes, because I didn't, ask the patient, how was their day, or didn't respond fast enough because they wanted some water and I have someone coating down the hall. But all of that to say, that's my day 1 reflection. So I started to create my ER exit blueprint. And once I get it squared away, I'll be able to present it to you guys. Hopefully it'll help another nurse who's going through it, or who's afraid or need permission to leave. Just so you have permission, you can leave. But I'm prepping my exit now, and I'm in the trenches going through it, so that when I do present it, it'll definitely be it'll be proven and valid, and it'll be able to help, hopefully. So I did create the free Burnout Assessment quiz. I'm going to link it in the comments below, so you definitely can take it. And there's no sale, there's no expectation. It's just so you can see where you are on the burnout meter. Even if you're not at the level I'm at, even if you don't even feel burnt out, just knowing where you are on the barometer will help you navigate things easier. So click the link in the comments, and if you want to take it, once again, that's cool. If not, that's cool also. And thanks for watching.